Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and reveal the books I bought this week. And somewhere on this episode is a mystery pop-up segment. Where will it be? It's a mystery. Shh. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nolly, and I am the Comic Hero. On this episode, I'm showing some love to all the people in Los Angeles and Los Angeles County in the midst of these wildfires. Now, I'm going to touch base on all of that later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked, which college did Iceman and Archangel attend after they left the X-Men? Well, the correct answer is UCLA. And 5 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, your name's been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Fred Morris from Forney, Texas. So congratulations, Fred. You reached off a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode. And this is a Green Lantern question. And this has to do with Hal Jordan, which, by the way, is a character from California. And this is also an Air Force question. So I'm expecting a lot of folks from the Air Force to get this question right. Alright, here's the question. What was Hal Jordan's rank in the U.S. Air Force at the time of his honorary discharge? Is it A, Colonel, B, Captain, or C, Brigadier General? All right, here's some hints to help you out. The first hint is this rank is between First Lieutenant and Major. That's for everyone who's familiar with the rankings of the U.S. Air Force, or the U.S. Air Force as a whole. And here's a hint for everyone else. Blank Kangaroo. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now Mandy Hooter from Bossier City, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and these two that are going up against each other became members of the X-Men 50 years ago. One of them making their first appearance in John Size X-Men #1, and the other one making his first appearance in The Incredible Hulk #181 the year before. And they're also fan favorites. Representing Marvel, we have Storm. And also representing Marvel, we have Wolverine. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call...
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Storm versus Wolverine. Storm possesses atmokinesis, flight, ecological empathy, temperature and pressure resistance, and is skilled in hand-to-hand combat and marksmanship. Wolverine possesses enhanced strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, reflexes and senses, indestructible bones via adamantium, retractable adamantium claws, regenerative healing factor, extended longevity, and is a master of various forms of combat. Who will win? This fight would start out with hand-to-hand combat. Due to his extensive knowledge in this area, Wolverine would definitely have the upper hand. Storm also has to be very careful, not just because Wolverine is more skilled, but because she can easily break her limbs if she strikes certain blows. This is due to Wolverine's adamantium skeleton system. Wolverine would have Storm on the ropes, but makes a costly mistake. He has Storm cornered. Anyone who's familiar with Storm knows that she has severe claustrophobia. That and her power set make this a lethal combination for anyone who faces her. Storm becomes a deadly but unstable version of herself. She unleashes a series of lightning bolts at Wolverine, but the latter quickly recovers and the claws come out. Wolverine lunges towards Storm, but the latter conjures up a cyclone and encases the former in it. Wolverine escapes the cyclone and stabs Storm with his claws. Wolverine wins. But wait! 1 second after she's stabbed, Storm summons Stormcaster. This is an Asgardian hammer that she owns. The hammer quickly heals her of the stab wound, and she begins to clobber Wolverine with the hammer. She does this and unleashes a series of lightning bolts at Wolverine that are more powerful than her own. Storm then ends the fight in the most grotesque way possible. She hits Wolverine in one of the few places in his body where adamantium isn't present. Below the belt. She then looks down at Wolverine saying, "Stay down." Storm wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Thank you, Mandy Hooter, for that fight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll have another fight for episode 511. Now, if you want to make a request, go ahead and do so, but remember, I have rules. The first rule, there has to be at least one comic book or manga character involved. The second rule, that comic book or manga character can go up against another comic book or manga character, a video game character, or a series-minded cartoon character like Optimus Prime, Voltron, Lion-O, Bravestar, anyone like that. And then the third rule, make sure your fight makes sense. It really wouldn't make a lot of sense for, Squirrel Girl to go up against the Shaggy Man, because Squirrel Girl would tear him up. Squirrel Girl can hold her on. You may not think that much about her, but she can hold her own. She beat up Dr. Doom one time. All right, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up is Absolute Superman number 3. Action Comics number 1082. The Amazing Spider-Man number 65 Point Deaths. Oh, by the way, this is a cutting room floor to the current story arc entitled The 8th Deaths of Spider-Man. Avengers Assemble number 5. Batman Superman World's Finest number 35. Black Lightning number 3. Challengers of the Unknown number 2. Exceptional X-Men number 5. The Immortal Thor number 19. The Incredible Hulk number 21. Laura Kinney Wolverine number 2. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 29. The New Gods number 2. Space Ghost number 9. Titans number 19. And finally, and I am so excited about this book, Ultimate Wolverine number 1. All right, that's 16, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 13,394. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What was Hal Jordan's rank in the U.S. Air Force at the time of his honorary discharge? Is it A, Colonel, B, Captain, or C, Brigadier General? Now, here are the hints again to help you out. The first hint is for everyone who's familiar with Air Force or is Air Force. This rank is between First Lieutenant and Major. And the second hint is for everyone else. Blank Kangaroo. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Fred Morris from 40, Texas, who won a free tee on this episode. Now, earlier this month, the suburbs of LA and then parts of LA itself were ravaged by a series of wildfires. And the worst two happened in Pasadena and then in Eaton. Now, the one in Pasadena happened in the neighborhood of Pacific Palisades. Now, this fire has destroyed or damaged more than 6,000 structures, and it's burned more than 23,700 acres. Now, the good news is it is 68% contained. And then the other one is in Eaton. Now, Eaton is north of Pasadena. Now, this fire has destroyed or damaged more than 10,000 structures, and it's burned more than 14,000 acres, and thankfully it is 91% contained. And kudos to all the firefighters, and those in LA County, those in the city of LA, and then those that in parts of California and then throughout the country that have come and helped out with this fire, because the LA County couldn't do it alone. This wildfire was, it's been 2 weeks, and this fire, even though a majority of it is contained, there's still other parts of that fire that have not been contained. And it has cost so many people their homes, and they had to be evacuated, and to date, unfortunately, 28 people have been confirmed dead as a result of this wildfire. These wildfires were so severe that the Los Angeles Rams had to play their opening wild card playoff game at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. I just can't even imagine someone losing their house like that. The only thing that I can say right now to the people of Los Angeles, or the people of the suburbs that have lost their homes, to the families of those who were confirmed dead, to the firefighters that are working so diligently to make sure that these fires are finally put out, I love y'all. I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing y'all can do about it. All right, this is an LA Together comic hero tee. In the side of the speech bubble, you have the word Los Angeles in the shape of a heart. Now, the white inside of it represents all the firefighters that are working ever so diligently to put these fires out, and those whose homes were lost. And then the black is in loving memory of the 28 people whose lives were lost. Then right here on the left sleeve is the Los Angeles city flag, and then here on the right sleeve is Los Angeles, California, on the map. And this kind of hits home for me because I have some family and friends that live in the area, and if y'all are watching this, I love y'all, and you're gonna get through this. I know it's gonna. I know it's gonna take some time, because you live somewhere, and then something like this happens. I mean, there just are no words, but I have words for y'all, and that is, I love y'all. One of the things that's going to get us through this thing called life is love. I mean, there's so much condemnation. There's so much hatred. I mean, there's so much, placing blame on others. We got to be better, folks. It's all about love. But if you would like a shirt like this one, it's a product on IamTheComicHero.com/shop. They're $20 no matter the size, and I will donate half of each purchase to the American Red Cross. Love you, LA. Love y'all. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, I'm going to raise awareness of cervical cancer. I know some women that have beaten cervical cancer, and I know the families of women that have lost their lives to cervical cancer. And then on episode 511, I'm celebrating Black History Month to kick off the month of February. Then on episodes, plural, not episodes, 512 through 514, I'm celebrating Mardi Gras, y'all, and this whole desk is going to be decked out in Mardi Gras decor. And then right here, I'm going to have the Mardi Gras tree. Yes, there is a Mardi Gras tree. Not only do I have one, I know a whole bunch of folks who have one too. And then on episode 415, I'm going to raise awareness of endometriosis. I know some women who are living with this disease, and I can only imagine what they go through on a daily basis. And also, I just want to go ahead and say this lastly, to everyone that's living in South Louisiana or south of Alexandria, y'all gotten a lot of snow. I mean, there is snow anywhere from Lake Charles to New Orleans. I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope y'all have fun, but at the same time, if y'all have to go somewhere, please, sir, please, ma'am, be very careful. Hey, everyone. Congratulations to the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Last night, they defeated the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish 34-23 and won the national championship game. And congratulations to their starting quarterback, Will Howard, who completed 17 of 21 passes for 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. And he was named the national championship game MVP as a result. And congratulations to head coach Ryan Day, the rest of the coaching staff, the rest of the players, the support groups, the alumni, the fans, and the students. And this is an Ohio State Comic Hero tee. And if you would like one, you can find them on IamTheComicHero.com/shop for $20 no matter the size. So this weekend, I go to Excalibur Comics in Shreveport, Louisiana for my weekly visit. And after leaving there, I go back across the river to Bossier City, and I end up stopping at 2nd and Charles. Now, at first, I was looking for some action figures and Funko Pops, according to certain books that I read. I didn't really find anything. Okay, that's not true. I did find one thing. I found a Space Ghost Funko Pop. But anyway, while I was in there, I ended up in the trade paperback section of the store, and normally when it comes to back issues, I don't really read them, because when it comes to comics, I'm all about moving forward. But while I was there, I figured, you know what, why not? So I was looking through some of the trade paperbacks, and I happened to find a Superman story, or some back issues of some Superman books, and it was a story arc that I promised myself ever since I started doing this hobby that I would never, ever buy or read. because I already found the Millennium Edition of one of the issues that this trade paperback collects. But I'm gonna let y'all know what that is, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The Death of Superman. Now, the way that I do trade paperbacks, for those of y'all who don't know, I don't collect the trade paperback as a whole. What I do is I collect the issues that the trade paperback collects, and those issues are Superman the Man of Steel number 18, Justice League of America number 69, Superman number 74, The Adventures of Superman number 497, Action Comics number 684, Superman the Man of Steel number 19, and then the final chapter, Superman number 75. Now, I'm going to do something else that I don't normally do. Almost 25 years ago, right after I graduated from high school, I ended up finding the Millennium Edition of Superman number 75. Now, this was the issue where Doomsday kills Superman. And I promised myself, I read it one time and I have not read it since. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take that issue out of my collection and I'm going to make it a product on IamTheComicHero.com/shop, and I'm selling it for $100. So if Superman number 75 is something that's on your bucket list, then you may want to buy it, because after that, I'm not selling it anymore. That's the only one I have. So with that being said, with me taking that book out of the collection, and then with these other 7 books, that brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 13,400. Alright, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome. As soon as you're done, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome. As soon as you're done, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the East Texas Comic Con fans Facebook page, welcome. As soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on the Louisiana Delta Content Careers Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. Alright, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 510. Not in the 400s, I'm in the 500s now. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and I love you, LA.